Great to meet you. Thank you so much, Simon. Hello, everyone. My name is Nimindu. I am from iMyanmar House. So before I start, everybody has been sitting all day and getting sleepy. So I would like to do a little bit of exercise for 1 minute. So everyone please stand up. Everyone please stand up. Just a little bit of exercise for 1 minute. Okay, we are going to make a few lines, and we are going to face this side of the room. Make a few lines, face this side of the room. If you are not in a line, join line, please. If you are not in a line, join a line, please. Everybody quickly do that. I don't have much time. Join a line, please. Okay. Put your hands in front of, put your hands on the shoulder in front of the person in front of you, and give a good massage. Give a very good massage. So we are in Bangkok, so we are going to give a Thai massage. And people, we are in a service industry, so provide a very good service, please. And then we are going to use both hands and chop across the back. Chop across the back, please. Okay, everybody stop. And we are going to face the other side of the room and do that again. If you are not happy with the service, you can complain. Thank you, everyone. You can all sit down. Now, everyone owes me $5 each for the massage that you just received. So, I'm going to talk about how we achieve over 190 million in transaction value in 1.5 years. So the first question, why am I here? I'm here because I wanted to give back to the community here, because we ourselves benefited from this conference and the master class a few years ago. So I attended PBW conference and master class back in May 2015, right here in this room. So is there anyone who attended the conference and the master class before or even yesterday? Even yesterday? Yeah, there are a few people here, a lot of people here. So is it really good? Would you agree that the master class is really good? Right? Okay. So can we give a big round of applause to Simon and team for bringing us the conference and the master class. So we attended this master class, and it really opened our eyes as to what we could achieve with a transaction business model. At that time, we were a small startup with only about 15 employees. Now we have over 100 staff. And we went into transaction business in May 2016. And we never looked back since then. And so far, we have achieved over 190 million in transaction value. So this is the macro overview of Myanmar. We have a population of over 53 million people. Our literacy rate stands at 93%. And our GDP per capita is over 1,200. So it's relatively low compared to other Southeast Asia countries like Singapore, Malaysia, or even Thailand. So this is the digital landscape for Myanmar. out of 53 million people, we have about 15 million internet users. And we also have 15 million social media users. So if you notice, the two figures are exactly the same. So it's because in Myanmar, Facebook is the internet, unlike other countries. So if you compare 2017 and 2016, we have a growth rate of over 27% for internet users and 36% for social media users. So we are growing very, very fast. Considering the fact that SIM card used to cost about 5,000 US dollars each in 2010. So just a little bit background of how we started. I was in Singapore for over 10 years. Then I went back to Myanmar in early 2013, and we launched iMyanmar House in October 2013. So this is the timeline of key events. So we started in October 2013, and we did our first property seminar back in October 2014. And we received investment from Frontier Digital Venture, FDV for short, in November 2014. And we launched our mobile app in March 2015. We also launched our Myanmar's first property magazine in May 2015. And we did our very first property expo in May 2015. That's also when I attended the conference. And then we went into transaction business in May 2016. So where are we today? Right now, we have over 200,000 property listings. We have over 2,100 property agents using our platform. And we have over 300,000 monthly visits. So consumer and customer, which one to target first? It's like chicken and egg problem. So I'll explain more about that later. Another question that many of you may have is offline or online? That one, I will also explain about that later. So for online activities, you have to understand that Myanmar is a very much local market. Foreigners are not allowed to buy properties, are not allowed to legally own properties in Myanmar yet. The condominium law has been passed in parliament, but the law has not come into effect yet. And it is always mobile first. So all of our traffic mostly comes from mobile. And social media is your friend. You have to leverage on that. And at the same time, we also build our corporate and personal brand online. I'll explain why personal brand later in my presentation. So we became a clear market leader since 2016. So this is the stuff for December 2017. We are at least 6.5 times larger than our nearest competitor, according to Google Analytics. And we are at least 4 times larger than our nearest competitor, according to similar work. And we also did a survey among the local Burmese people because it is a local market. So we asked which property website do you use? So no surprise here. Nearly 58% say that they use iMyanmarHouse.com. So about the offline presence, we also need to have offline presence because many people stay offline. So what we did was we launched our monthly property magazine. We also published 8 property-related books, and one of them became a bestseller in Myanmar, which is written by me. And all of that establishes iMyanmar House as a voice of authority in the market. So this is our monthly property magazine. And we also did, we are also doing property seminars. So we started doing it in October 2014. So far, we have done about 15 seminars in Yangon, Mandalay, Taungji, and other various cities in Myanmar, and even in Singapore. Because why did we do it in Singapore? It's because there are a lot of Burmese living in Singapore. So this is the property seminars. So normally, about 1,000 people attend each seminar. So another thing that we do is property exhibition, of course. So we started doing it in May 2015. And so far, we have done about 15 property exhibition in Singapore, Mandalay, Taungji, and Singapore. Just last weekend, we did our last one in Singapore. So in each property exhibition, 50 plus property developers participate. So these are the some of the pictures of our property exhibition. They are hugely popular, very, very popular. So our offline activities leads to offline visit, and offline promotion drive traffic back to offline events. So we started asking, what's next for us to do? And that's when I attended the conference back in May 2015. And so we jumped right into transaction business. Our first transaction sales event, we persuaded one developer. It was in May 2016. We sold over 7.7 million worth of properties within 2 days. Real result. So we got our first taste of success in transaction business. So this is our very first event. So with each transaction sales event, we started gaining trust from the developers. And I started having a lot of meetings with the developers. And at the same time, I also started giving a lot of media interviews. So that's where the personal branding came into play. Because I started giving a lot of media interviews, I sort of became well known in the market. Right now, I have over 100,000 followers on my Facebook account. And we spent a lot of time networking within the industry. And we sort of integrated iMyanmar House into the property ecosystem. So these are some of the interviews that I did. This picture is we were singing with the property developers and agents. So our transaction sales event became popular. Initially, we did one sales event every 3 months. And it became more popular. And we started doing one sales event every month. And it became more popular. And we started doing one sales event every weekend. It didn't stop there. It became more popular. And we started doing 2 or 3 concurrent sales events every single weekend. So these are some of our sales events. We deliver real result to the property developers, not fake ones. And we became a platform for trust among property developers, agents, and the consumers. So we started asking, what's next? And we found exclusive sales and marketing. So we started pitching exclusive sales and marketing rights to developers in October 2017. So it was a few months ago. And right now we have 6 exclusive projects today. So one of our exclusive project is a 90-acre reclaimed land project in Myanmar. It was relatively unknown in the market. And we took it on, and we made it popular. We made it very, very popular. And we sold over 20 million worth of land plots within 2 days. Just last month. So we are going to make over 400,000 US dollar in commission alone from this event. So this is our sales event. So initially we chased after the developers, and now the developers are chasing after us. So we've become a voice of trust in the market. So right now we are asking what's next. That's why I'm also here to learn from all of you. And we FTB also did a workshop in Dubai last month with the other property partners. So we shared our strategies. We formulated what we are going to do. So we'll see. So this is our team in Yangon last year. Right now we have 3 offices all over Myanmar. So the message that I want you to take from my presentation is that if we can do it in an emerging market, so can you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nay, thank you very much. Hopefully you get your $5 from each of these guys.
Sure, definitely. Yeah,
I'm trying to work out how to get a cut of the 190 million.
Yeah.
That's one's interesting. What I find fascinating about this conversation is the transition, relatively rapid transition, of your business from an advertising type business with the exhibitions and the print and so on into a real agency, a project marketer. We're in that transition, you know, and the way you outlay it is a very logical step and fantastic. What have been some of the real challenges you faced? Because there must have been some things that you didn't expect along the way, and how have you overcome them?
Right. Initially, we didn't have a lot of trust from the developer, so gaining trust was one of the biggest challenges that we faced. So for our very first transaction sales event, I literally had to back the developer to do the sales event. So we even did everything we could to bring a lot of sales. So yeah, that's one of the things, one of the challenges that we face. Another challenges that we used to have is educating the market. So in Myanmar, when we started, the internet was not very popular. Even Facebook was not popular when we started. So we had a lot of issue signing up the agency, property developers. But we are over that stage right now. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what's interesting is the developers are starting to trust you as a legitimate channel to market.
Right.
And I think if your number was about 5% commission, no, 5%, 0.5%. It was 20 million. It was 20 million sales for 400,000. 2%. So 2%. Sorry, that was a long day. My maths is not great.
Yeah.
Which is a good percentage to get. What's interesting at some of these other conferences, we've had, I think it was like in Lisbon, we had the Zamin guys, I think we're talking they could get up to 10% commission.
Right.
Do you see there's sort of two aspects, right? As you get better and better at marketing the properties and extracting, sorry, not extracting, but delivering unique leads and closing out these developments on an exclusive basis, do you see that percentage commission rising from 2%?
Definitely. Definitely. In fact, we are getting, for some of the projects that we are doing, we are getting about up to 6% commission.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then then the other side of that sort of equation for me is as the developer puts their trust into you as the project marketer for this, are you just relying on your marketing channel, the website, or are you leveraging other channels? For example, buying Google AdWords or doing something else to drive traffic specifically for that development.
We use all sort of channel available. So yeah, not only our channel. Yeah.
Okay. Can you use competitors? Would they take your advertising money?
No, not really.
Right. Because it's interesting. Because I've always thought about this as a case of as portals go from being advertising to transaction, are the portals then happy to advertise on what is their competitors?
Right.
Guys, it becomes this sort of co-opetition environment because it would happen both ways, right?
Right, sure.
So it becomes an interesting challenge on whether you're a project marketer and therefore you leverage all channels, or you're an advertising company that can leverage only your channel. So that must be an interesting way to think about it, because I assume in these early stage markets, lots of competition. We've seen other players here who, lots of people claim number one about this, that, and the other thing, and that's fine. We see it in all markets because as they sort themselves out over time. But I think what's interesting is leveraging as many channels as possible to drive traffic and converting the traffic, and the results seem fantastic. Probably get you up on stage again in a year's time. What's the business going to look like there? Because you're asking what's next.
Yeah.
What's your view of what's next for the company?
Right now, we are still trying to find what's next for us. But I believe this year we are going to grow tremendously by leaps and bounds.
Yep. Doing what you're doing at the moment on the project marketing.
Yep.
Yeah, because it would be, from my perspective, it's almost like you've hunted, you've tried a lot of things, you've found something that really works.
Right.
And the companies that seem to do really well are those who identify that and then focus on that for a while and get it as a real process, a real system, and ingrained into the company. And I don't know how many new developments there are in Myanmar, but there has to be a lot going on. And if you can become one of the preferred project marketers and highly in demand, you then get to start to determine more about the percentage of commission you get.
Sure. So I just feel that we are just scratching the surface right now.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of room to grow.
Yep.